how we run these off of the phones. The flare, we turned it on with my phone outside.
Oh.
Here's what it looks like inside. Same screen, exactly. That we looked outside. You can see right now we're making 687 kW right now. But every trend here is documented. All the gas trends. We had an issue at a plant. Where was it? Oh, French Creek. The neighbors, the 300 houses were built next to the wastewater treatment plant, and then we built our digester there 28 years later, or whatever it was. They said, they really get calls, they send the stuff in, and they say, for 2 seconds, I had a whiff of something that smelled like it was from the plant. 2 seconds. Then this guy started sending this out. At 7:47, I think that I had a, okay, the plant was there first, the wastewater plant. Are you guys nuts? I mean, they live right within, okay. Anyway, the guy at our plant said, well, there's been no release. Well, how do you know? Well, because this doesn't lie. You can't manipulate it. Either it does or it doesn't. And let me see here. That's us right now. We have them for outside cameras everywhere around here to make sure that, you know, when Christina's showing up here.
Sniffing around.
Sniffing around. There you go.
Hey, Matt, would you equate what 687
Yeah.
kW equates to one household?
The average Midwest house uses 4.5 kWs an hour to run. The average Midwest home. So that would be 158 houses, 160 houses. That generator right now from waste. It's pretty awesome, really. There was a time that not too long ago that we, you know, people were talking about, oh, I'm going to go to Columbus, got a meeting. Well, who with, for what? What's the upside? And they said, what are you, nuts? No, it's $220 just to drive there and back. Think about it. And I said, well, do it electronically. Tell me what the benefit's going to be before you go, because anybody that can predict what's going to happen as opposed to report what did happen has got more value for our company, right? And now we have 29 vehicles running on CNG. So it really cost me about 50 cents to drive out here on fuel today. That's our fuel. It's nothing. And Zanesville, you guys have a big station. Giant Eagle said they have 150 trucks go through there. They asked if they can fuel in Zanesville. And the other one's fuel in Columbus. Waste Management, Swaco, Columbus, the Food Bank, Ford Motor Company, Chesapeake. They fuel in Columbus or Zanesville. It's awesome. It's really a big deal. And there's going to be a new fueling station in Belmont, by the way. That'll announce very shortly. On 70. Right on 70. I think, is there an exit 18? I might have the numbers wrong.
I don't know the numbers. You'd have to tell me the road.
Yeah. But
probably out on in Flushing area there.
We now build plants in 100 days. From the time we have the permit break ground, it's 100 days. And it's, right now we built the second ag plant. It's for Ringler, the hog producer in Ashley, Ohio. We built his before it was done. He said, let's build the second one. And now it's being constructed at near Dayton. And the upside is that he can make 5 times more money with the digester in combination with his hog than he can from his hog farm alone. It's awesome. It's the largest pork producer in Ohio.
Do you have any trouble getting your product?
We did originally, but what we concluded honestly was I'd rather be trampled by elephants than eaten by ants. Meaning, if we're not going to make it, if this industry isn't going to work, let's find out right now. So we built the second digester on Ohio State's Worcester campus. We didn't have one account. And now we're building one 3 times larger, private-public partnership with Worcester the city, their wastewater treatment plant right now, and it'll be operational September 20th. So it's just that big. And then, oh, what a coincidence, as an economic development opportunity, Scoop, the Dollop, Sour Cream, Daisy, they bought a 140-acre farm in Wayne County. They're coming, and I don't know if they could have done this without our participation at the wastewater plant. Frito-Lay, all kinds of chaos. Smuckers, I believe that caused them all kinds. They spent $20-some million experimenting with ratepayer money at the plant, instead of what I said with Northeast Ohio Regional. We'll make the investment. They said, what if it doesn't work? I said, what do you care? It's our money. But if you build another incinerator, you're part of perpetuating the category that we are #1 in Ohio. Fine particle air pollution. American Lung Association, check it. #1, Ohio is.
Most of yours, are they partnerships like what you have with Haviland Drainage Products? Or?
Yeah, I'd say most of them are. We're partnering with 4 City, and we just built 2 in New York. We're building 3 more in New York with them along the 90 corridor. So we have digesters coming up 71, going across 70, and going across 80 or 80 in Ohio. In New York, we have 2 built in Buffalo and Niagara. And now the next 3 will be Rochester, Albany, and Syracuse. And we just contracted to build them in Connecticut. And in Connecticut, Vermont, and Massachusetts, they either passed or have pending legislation to prevent commercial industrial generators taking their material, their organic waste, to a landfill. They just, legislation, boom, you have to find an alternative. So it's big stuff that's happening, and eventually we'll get there. Ohio's still got a lot of opportunities because of acreage and landfills and so forth, but it's the next right thing to do. I laugh when a landfill talks about, landfill gas. It's a good thing, right? Nobody's biting. Okay, landfill gas is a good thing, but the fact that when you take a bowl, where a landfill is, you put a liner in it, you keep filling it. Until that thing is filled and capped 10 or 15 years later, the methane that's being generated is permeating through the material into the atmosphere. So the last year is okay, but the previous whatever it took is terrible. And if you don't put it in, then you're not going to have that problem. And before, there was an option. It's kind of like I talked about in Salina, Mercer County. When there's no opportunity for farmers to mitigate the nutrient, phosphorus discharges and so forth, it's almost like you can understand why it's not being done. But when there is a solution, then it's a matter of execution. And that's where it has to go right now in the counties, in the watershed.